There we go. We should have volume now. Hopefully everything sounds all good there. We're within 5 minutes of class starting here. Almost 5:15. Woo! Evening, everybody who has joined in so far. Or anybody watching at a future date. Just jumping in now. We're getting started in about 3-4 minutes here about. Ready for some awesome grip break practice here. Hey Ryan, let me make this text a little bit bigger. There we go. I had to come in pretty close to see that. There we go. Can I shrink this down a little bit too? I think I can. There we go. Hope you're doing well, Ryan. It's good to have you back in the class tonight. Hopefully you've had some good practice with that zombie grip break we're working on this week. Almost done with tip testing week for that, huh? Only got what? Say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for tip testing week. Of course, we got makeups next week if anyone needs to, but coming up soon means new curriculum next week. We got about 2 minutes before we start. For everybody who's here, same thing as always, make sure that you guys have a clear space around you where you can move around. You're not going to accidentally kick a wall or trip on a pillow or step on a book, right? Make sure you've got some space on the ground around you so that you can train. Should be able to be done in like 5 by 5 feet. If I'm going from just across this mat here, it's about 6.5. So I got a little extra there. I don't tend to use all of that, but make sure you got a little bit of room around you there. We're going to get a little bit of stretches going here. We haven't officially started yet, but if you want to join with me, bring arms across the body here. We've still got about 1.5 minutes, it looks like. I'm going to get some arm circles forward. Big circles here, as big as you can. And backwards. Head to one side. The other. Straight down. The trick with that one is to make sure you're not just leaning forward, right? Just the head, back, and then some big circles. These ones are my favorite. Just getting a big head circle here. Nice and slow. Whew, there we go. All right, we're about 1 minute off here. Let me make sure that everybody who's wanting to check in here is all set. Down in here too. There we go. We should be good. In the announcements, also in the general martial arts discussion. Woo! Let me double check. You guys hear me right? Yeah, okay, good. Now I got the volume mixed up, so I can actually see what's going on. Cool! Alright, it looks like it is 5:15, so one more reminder here. Make sure that you've got a clear space on the ground around you. You want to make sure that you don't accidentally step on something, hurt yourself, or trip over something, right? Make sure you got that clear space around you, and I hope you guys are drinking water. I know it's been some hot days recently. Staying hydrated is incredibly important, especially if we're about to do a class, get some good workout in, alright? So, let's go ahead and get started here. Let's come to attention. How do you guys feel today? Awesome. Let's bow to up. We get to start off with our up-down sprint drill. Now, a reminder for this one, we're going to be jogging in our spot, right? When I say up, we're going to jump up as high as we can. When I say down, you're going to bend your knees and touch the ground. And if I say sprint, you want to get those feet moving as quickly as you can, right? Of course, if I say jog, come right back to jogging here. Let's do our best, all right? Go ahead and jog in place. Again, if you cannot jump, right, let's say it's not allowed or I can't jump at home, then instead of jumping like that, I'm going to bend my knees and touch the ground, all right? I'm going to scoot back a little bit. I'm going to do my best to keep my head in the frame, but it might leave a little bit. Ready? And down. And down. And down. Pull a couple in a row. Sprint. Get those feet moving fast. How quickly can you run and jog? And sprint. Feet moving quick, feet moving quick, feet moving quick, and jog. Good. Ready? Up. And up, down. There we go. If you can, try to bring the knees up high too. Instead of just jumping, you bring your knees up. You can tap your legs with your hands. And down. And down. And down. And down, up, down. And sprint. How fast can you go? And jog. Woo, there we go. And down. Sprint. Feet moving quick, feet moving quick, feet moving quick, and jog. Woo. That's a fun one. Get those feet moving. Still jogging in place a little bit here. Ready? Up, down, up, down. And down, down, up, down. Up, down. Woo. Back to that jogging. Always defaulting here. Always default to jogging in place. And down, down, down. Down, down. And last one for our sprint here. Make this one our best, okay? Ready? And sprint. Move those feet quick, move those feet quick. And jog. Woo! Shake the legs. Take the arms out. Big circle with that head. Awesome. So, let's talk about our word of the week real quick so we know what we're talking about, right? The word of, starting off the week with the module, is focus. The big part of focus is to pay attention, right? So, I can pay attention with a whole bunch of different things. I can pay attention with my eyes. I can pay attention with my ears, with my mind, right inside my head here, and then my whole body. So if I'm paying attention with my eyes, it would be make sure that I'm looking at what I'm doing. If I'm teaching a karate class, right? Hey, I gotta make sure I'm focusing on my students. I'm looking, watching what they're doing. I'm watching what my moves, my hands are doing. Watch my punches. Watching my kicks, right? If I can focus and pay attention with my eyes that way, helps out. Finally, or the second one, focusing our ears. Paying attention to what's going on around us, right? If I'm in school, I better be listening to my teacher. Paying attention to my ears, making sure I listen to every single thing that they say. Good. We can use it everywhere, of course, but that's just a good example. Now, let's get to the first little bit of practice here on our actual technique. We're working on the zombie grip break. So, I'm going to step all the way back here. For the zombie grip break, we imagine that someone grabs our shoulders. And, of course, we don't want to let them just grab our shoulders. So, we're going to take our hands, we're going to bring them up nice and high. And notice how my hands aren't coming in close together, but instead they're coming on the outside. Once I'm here, I'm going to make these hooks with my hands. And if I get a little closer, you'll see a little better. Looks like this. I bring them up, and I'm going to hook them down. See that? That way, someone's arm could fit right inside there if I needed to grab a zombie's arm and pull it off to the side. So, now that we know that part, we need to bring it down to our shoulders. Up nice and high. Make those hooks. Drop them down. And then we're going to pull straight to the sides with our hands. That's usually the time when we add a key off. So hands come up. We make hooks with the hands. Drop them down. And now pull straight to the side and we're going to key off. 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Again. Ready? Up. Make those hooks. Drop them down. Pull apart and key off. 3, 2, 1, go. Excellent. Now, 30 seconds here. We're going to get some black belt practice time. What that means, 30 seconds where you're going to practice like a black belt, right? I'm going to as well. We're not going to settle for anything less than our best, all right? 30 seconds on our own. On your marks. Get set and go. Oh, and I'm going to get to that ready stance at the end. Maybe I'll face a different direction. Awesome. Let's keep it going. Always finishing in that ready stance. It's super important. We've got 10 more seconds. Pause. We have 5 more seconds we're going to do in just a second here. But make sure we get these really big motions with our arms. It's possible to try and do this, and sometimes I accidentally do that. But I want to make sure if I find myself doing that I fix it. I say, oh, I got to make this really big arm circle there, okay? Ready? 5 more seconds. 3, 2, go. Cha. See if we can get it 2 or 3 times. Cha. One more. Cha. There we go. All right, we'll break right there. Now, let's focus our listening. Let's focus and pay attention with our ears for this next one. It's not going to be on our own. You're going to wait until I say go. Now, if I say go, G-O, hey, you're going to go and do your zombie grip break. If I said something different, maybe I say yo-yo, or maybe I say no, then we do not do that zombie grip break, all right? Let's try it out. Focus that listening very carefully. Go. Oh, I added that front kick in there. We haven't talked about that quite yet. We'll do it in a second. Ready? Go. Go. Oh, there we are. No. Go-gurt. Green. Yo-yo. Go. Go. Whoa. Mo. Go. Low. Bow. Go. One more. Go. There we are. All right. Let's talk a little bit about focus again here, and we're going to jump back into that grip break, and we're going to add the front kick next time. So, we've already talked about focusing the ears, right? We've already talked about focusing the eyes. We can also focus our mind. Now, focusing our mind, it means we're thinking about what we're doing. So, if I'm in karate right now, I should be focusing on my zombie grip break. I should be focusing on the word focus, paying attention to it, right? And when I'm at dinner, I'm not going to be thinking about karate, right? That's only for karate time. When I'm at dinner, I'm still going to be showing respect to everyone, even if it's a karate thing, right? Showing respect and focusing on stuff, but I'm paying attention to what I'm eating, making sure that I enjoy it, paying attention to the people around me, right? So, paying attention, focusing with our mind is making sure we are focusing, thinking about the thing that we're doing, not letting anything else creep into our mind. Finally, focusing our whole body, paying attention with our body. We got to make sure it's doing the right thing at the right time. If I'm in karate class, I'm probably going to be moving around, right? Doing some kicks. If I'm at the grocery store, I'm probably not doing kicks, right? If I'm in the car, not a time for front kicks. That's a time where, hey, I'm in the car, I'm going to be sitting down, make sure I've got my seatbelt on, that I'm safe. But making sure our body's doing the right thing at the right time. Now, let's jump back into that zombie grip break. Oh, yeah. Now, we get to add in that front kick. You might remember practicing it on the previous classes. Now we get a chance to do it again. So for the zombie grip break, when we pull these arms to the side, we can chamber and kick at the same time. Ready? Bring the hands up, make the hooks, drop them down, and now when we pull to the side, we're also going to do a front kick. Ready? Set and go. Awesome. To the other side, all the way to the hooks on the shoulders, and go. Excellent. Again, ready? Hands up, make the hooks, drop them down, and go. Whew, there we are. Remember with a front kick, you want to hit with the bottom of the foot. If I point my toes forward, I hope you can see that, I would end up hitting with my toes. That's not good. I want to point them back towards me or point them up to the ceiling. That way, the ball of my foot, the bottom of my foot can hit it, okay? Ready? The whole thing when I say go. And go. Awesome. Again, and go. Now, I fall into the habit sometimes, you might have noticed, I've only been kicking with one leg. I'm going to get the other one some practice. Let's make sure we're switching it up, okay? And go. I'm going to face it the other way. And go. And go. Ah, very nice. And whoa. Ooh, trying to get tricky there. And go. And go. Awesome. Go. One more. And go. There we are. Let's talk a little bit more about focus. We're going to jump right back into those in just a second here. But we had talked about the different parts, right? We had talked about our eyes. We talked about our ears. We talked about our mind. We talked about our whole body and how they play different parts. Well, when we can focus all 4 of them at the same time, that helps us do our very best. One really great example that I love is if I'm learning how to ride a bicycle without training wheels, I'm really going to need to focus, right? Focusing my eyes on where I'm going. If I was just looking randomly, it's going to be hard to ride that bike. I'm going to be listening to the people around me. They might be coaching me, giving me advice, right? I'm also going to be hearing or listening for things around me to make sure I don't crash into anything. I'm going to focus my mind. I'm going to think about what I'm doing. I make sure my feet are pedaling. Make sure that I've got my hands on the handlebars, trying my best to stay upright, remembering all those things. Not worrying about what's for dinner. Not worrying about what I'm going to do with my friend later, right? And then finally, focusing my whole body. I need to make sure it's still. If I lean to the side while I'm trying to do that, I'm probably gonna fall. So focusing my whole body. We do all 4 of them, helps us do our best. It can help us learn how to ride that, all right? Let's stand up again. Let's get a little bit more black belt practice time with our zombie grip break here. We've gotten a chance to add in that front kick. So now we're really focusing on making sure it's as sharp as we can make it, okay? Ready? This time, we're gonna go 45 seconds. We get a little extra time to practice like a black belt. Starting in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 45 seconds are starting now. Go. I'm gonna take my time this time to really make sure I get this big motion with my arms and I get really strong kicks. And notice practicing with both legs, huh? Oh yeah, practice like a black belt. Make sure it's your sharpest. If I'm doing it and I mess it up a little bit, uh-oh, I didn't have that chamber. I'm gonna redo it. Because I know a black belt wouldn't let it slide. They wouldn't say, that's okay, I'll let that one be not so sharp. There we are. We've got 5 more seconds. I think we got a bonus 10 seconds on this one. And break. Very nice work. And you know what I'm realizing? We forgot to do some of our exercises earlier. I want to make sure we get some of those in now before the end of class. So, all the last couple weeks, we've been doing some push-ups, we've been doing some crunches, we've been doing some squats, and man, Roy Cree's brain just forgot it all. Let's get started with some of those push-ups, okay? Let's go push-up position. Remember, for our push-ups, we can start in one of 2 spots. I can either start down like this, toes on the ground, hands down, and I push myself up, or I can start up in my push-up position here. I let myself down slowly and push myself back up. That one, especially if I don't let my body touch the ground, that's the black belt version. You get to pick which one you want to do, okay? Let's go 30 seconds. Oh man, see how many we can do in 30 seconds. On your marks, get set, and go. Oh yeah. Getting that strength in. Oh yeah, we want to make sure that we are nice and strong. We did a little bit of stretching right before class if you were here for it. It wasn't mandatory, but it was something that I like to do before every class. Doing our best push-up still. We have only 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and break. Let's get some crunches next. We're already here on the ground. Remember, for the crunches, we lay down on our backs with our knees in the air and our feet flat on the ground, just like this. Then you're gonna sit yourself up before you lay yourself back down, right? That would be a sit-up if I go all the way up here. If I just go halfway, that's like a crunch. We get to pick which one we want to do. Now I'm going to turn around this way so I can see my time and my second hand as we do these. So again, 30 seconds. We're doing our crunches or our sit-ups here. Ready, set, and let's see, turn this way, even better. Ready, and go. I'm going to get some sit-ups going all the way up and then all the way back down. There we go. If you can't go all the way up, that's okay. Right, if you just get up this way, that's awesome. That's working the muscles in our stomach a little bit more, making sure we get nice and strong. Oh man, 10 seconds left. Oh yeah. We're coming up 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and break. There's our 30 seconds. We had 1 more we get to do. I'm going to stand up here. We had those squats, right? So for squats, keep your feet flat on the ground, bend the knees, stand right back up, and then we continue with that over and over again. 30 seconds. On your marks, get set, go. Making sure my time is just right on that one. I don't want us to get any see-through seconds where we start going for like 2 minutes when it was only supposed to be 30 seconds. Bending those knees, trying to keep our posture right. If I turn this way, you'll see. I'm trying to keep my head up high. If I bend it low like this, that's not a squat. Even like that, not as good, right? Keep that head up nice and high. Oh, we've only got 3 more seconds. What? 2, 1, and break. Woo! Nice job. Now, let's talk about one more thing with focus. You ready? We had talked about that one example of focusing with our all four parts, right? When we're trying to learn how to ride a bicycle without training wheels. Another one's a great example. Let's say I'm building a Lego ship. Hey, if I want to do my very best job, I'm going to have to focus all four. I'm watching what pieces I pick up, right? Watching where I place them. I'm focusing with my ears to listen to, hey, maybe I'm doing it with a teammate, right? Maybe I've got a brother who I'm doing this with, and we're trying to communicate with each other. Oh, what piece could go where? What would be the best, right? We listen to each other. Focus with our mind. We're thinking everything, right? As I pick the piece, I'm thinking I want it to go right here. And I'm focusing my body to make sure my hands actually put it in the right spot. So I have to focus all four parts there to make sure that I can do my absolute best. If one of them's missing, it's really tough to do, right? So we've got a little bit more time here. Let's get a little bit more practice with that zombie grip break. Let's remind ourselves of these details. Ready? They grab our shoulders. We don't want our hands coming in, right? We don't want them going out like that. Instead, they go big circle on the outside, make hooks with the hands, drop them down over the top, pull straight to the side, and while we pull, that's when we get to do our kick. Now remember, in a front kick, one more detail here, we'll get a little bit of practice time after that. When I kick, it's not just swinging my leg, right? When I'm doing that front kick, I better make sure my knee comes up high. That's called a chamber, right? So I can chamber my leg and then I can kick it out in front of me. Here we go. Ready, set, and go. Awesome. And go. There we are. And go. Excellent. 30 more seconds of that black belt practice time that we've talked about, making sure we do our very best job. Ready? And begin. Again, making sure. I get a chance to practice with both legs, right? Oh, there we go. Freeze for a second. We've got our last 15 seconds. For these last 15 seconds, I want us to make sure it's like turbo speed. We're going as fast as we can while still keeping it sharp, right? I'm not going to go little tiny ones, but I'm bringing my hips all the way up high, okay? 15 seconds, turbo mode. Here we go. On your marks. Get set. And go. Gotta get to that right stance. Oh, there we go. And break. Woo, boy. Those are some good kicks there. That was some good zombie grip breaks. Nice work on it. That is it for our class today. Woo. All those grip breaks. We got a lot of practice in, which is great because remember, we do something once or twice, yeah, we can get okay at it. But when we really practice it into the hundreds of times, thousands, tens of thousands, that's when we become really great at it, right? So, awesome work with that zombie grip break. Let's come to attention. Raise your hand. Repeat after me. I promise to be a good person, to put knowledge in my mind, to put honesty in my heart, to put strength in my body, and to make good friends. Let's bow. Before I go, quick announcements for everybody watching. Reminder that we have tip testing week still going right now through Sunday. And then we've got makeups for that tip testing all next week if you need to submit them then. Other than that, I think that's the only announcement that I've got. We got some new curriculum starting next week. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for coming in, Ryan. I appreciate having you here, working out with me and making sure you got your best work in. And then anyone who's still here, we've got a live, an all-rank class starting at 6 o'clock on the dot for beginners through level 4s, and then beginner, intermediate, advanced, black belt, adult too, so or teen adult. So hope to see everybody there. That is it. Let's go ahead and get a quick bow, and then we got that all-rank class starting at 6 o'clock. Let's bow out. Nice job. Class dismissed. Nice work. I'll be back in just a second here. There we go. Volume should be all on for everybody who's in here. We still got to get like 20 minutes until the class starts, but good to hang around for a little bit. Trying to think. Where's a good spot for this? Just out of frame there. I think that'll be the best one. I don't think that should get in my way of doing any kind of kicks. We should be all set. Good evening to everybody who is here. Hopefully you guys are having a good Thursday so far. We had some fun classes here today earlier in the morning. Got a couple more coming up in just, what is about 1 hour here? 6:50, I believe. What's our time? Right, about 5:45, huh? Yeah, about an hour they'll be starting up. Just doing a bit of stretching here beforehand. If anybody wants to do a little bit with. Just reaching for the toes here. Keeping those legs straight. Always mention it, but always a good reminder, especially for me. You know, I really want to reach a little bit farther. And bending the knees a little bit can do that, but it doesn't help me in the long run. Keep that back straight too. I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to go fill up this water bottle. Ah, it's too bad that's not right over. There we go. I'll be right back. Hello, hello. Anybody who is here, I hope you guys are having a good day. Perfect. Hello again. Good to see you. I feel like it's only been like an hour. Kicks were looking really good earlier on account of the axe kick especially. Whew. Got just over 10 minutes here before we start, everybody. I'm just gonna keep moving around a little bit here. Throwing some kicks, throwing some strikes. Make sure you stay nice and warm. Ooh. 5:49. Awesome. Got about 10-ish minutes here before we start. Hopefully everything's all easy to find for the stream here. We haven't had any issues in recent weeks, so optimistic that it's going to stay that way. Internet all holding up and everything. Remember, we got some kicks to do today. Whole bunch of kicking sets. Kick set 1, 2, and 3. We gotta make sure we get a good chunk of stretching today. Get a couple of leg swings going, some more dynamic stretches. We'll get a little bit of static stretching as well. Probably gonna separate it into a couple different parts. Work on more of that dynamic stretching early on. We'll get into some static stretching later on in the class. Just so everybody who's here knows what the plan is today. Hope you guys are all staying hydrated. I think I saw 2 9s on the weather earlier. Is that right, though? At the very least, it was getting up to that point. Spinning elbow. Watch. The back attacks me now. All right, 9 more minutes, everybody. Let me roll all this out of the way there. There we go. Realize the ringer might be a little issue over there. So we should be good now. We'll see how our new studio works over here. Training in a slightly different spot. We're getting down to about 5 minutes here. So I mention it every week, but let's make sure we're safe. Make sure you guys got some space around you that you can train in. Maybe like 5 by 5 feet. We got a little bit of kicks here. If you've got a little more space, it helps with it. But it can 100% be done in that 5 by 5 foot square. You're just gonna have to adjust a little bit, reset yourself. Maybe look at going diagonally through that square if you've got something set up like that. But if not, easy to do, right? We can still do it, even if you have to do a kick and then take a small step back. Still done, right? Still doable. And still doable, can still do really well with it that way too. So, keep in mind you got that space, and then other thing, of course, stay hydrated, guys. Stay hydrated. Easy thing to forget, but feels pretty bad when you do forget it, huh? You want to get like a glass of water to have around you. Definitely help as we train. And especially if we are training, right, working out, making sure we not only replenish the water if we're sweating for it, right? Make sure we're getting enough throughout the day, even if you're not sweating a lot. We all look good. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. We got kicking sets today, right? Kicking sets 1, 2, and 3. We've been working on a couple of lead hand techniques for sparring. Got the thumb story to talk about. And hopefully some good warm-ups. We'll get some bonus ones. I think the curriculum only had 3 in it officially. We have head, shoulder, knees, and toe push-ups, kayaks, jump squats, right? Or the alternating jump squats, and then instructor's choice with the other one. Evening, Simo Sarah. Good to see you again. Getting 2 classes in one day, huh? Awesome. And the other warm-up was supposed to be instructor's choice. I've been given that as a student's choice this week of what your favorite warm-up is, or do one more. So we'll have that option today too. We'll take some requests from the audience. Although I guess you guys aren't audience right now, you are in the class. Requests from the students. What are we going to do? We'll get that in just a little bit though. You get one quick trip out here. You got to double check that door is shut up at the front desk. Make sure we are all good for class today, all right? So, be back in just about 1 second here. There we go. Ooh, ice skaters. Those could be fun. I forgot about those. In fact, you know what? Let me make sure I put these back down. Ice skaters. There we go. You know what, Simo Sarah? I've got a whole master list of all the warm-ups that we do. I don't think that those are on there. I have a good one to add. I'm gonna have to do that. Looks like we got about a minute here, everybody. Same reminders I mentioned a little bit ago. If you were here, if you're just jumping in, if you haven't been to a class yet on YouTube here, same one I'm doing every week, but it's a great reminder for us. Please make sure that you've got the ground clear. Right? All it takes is one thing on the ground you accidentally step on, injured for a little bit. We want to avoid that. So take the time right now before we start. Make sure that the ground is clear around you, that you're not going to accidentally step on something, trip on anything, kick on anything, or kick anything, right? Just make sure it's clear for yourself. About 5 by 5 feet. If you can get a little bit more than that, even better. If not, you can still do all the kicks. Just may have to adjust a little bit as we go through. And then, of course, make sure you guys are hydrated. Keep drinking water, all right? So, we got about 30 seconds here before we start up. One of the warm-ups is instructor's choice. I've been given it as student's choice this week. You get to pick your favorite warm-up. If you guys have a warm-up that you would like to add into our list, please let me know, and we will do that, even if it's some point in the warm-ups here. I'm already going to add some ice skaters in. We haven't done those in a really long time, so it'll be new for a lot of us. But please let me know if you got something you want to do. Write it down in the comment, and then we can do it. Whether it's because you love it or because you want to make me do it, and then laugh as I struggle through it, right? One of those two options. Anyways, it looks like it's time, guys. Let's get started here. Everybody come to attention. How do you guys feel today? Awesome, sir. Let's bow to... I almost forgot. It is tip testing week, guys. We've been working on the kicking sets for the last week and a half. If you haven't already, make sure you submit that video, unless you're training in person too. And get a double class here online, awesome. Or sign up for a private lesson. We can do those too, right? We got makeups for it next week through Sunday, but the official tip testing is through this Sunday. All right, guys. We're starting off with our sparring jumping jacks. Regular jumping jacks are just here, right? Facing to the front. For sparring jumping jacks, every time we jump up here and we bring our feet apart, we're going to go to one sparring stance or the other, right? Either this side sparring stance or this side. We're going to be making our way back and forth. So, bring my hands up, like I'm going to that sparring stance, and then I come back to attention facing the front. Out to the side, back to attention. Up, and back. It's better to take it nice and slow, make sure you get it right, than to try and fumble around with it, right? So, sparring jumping jacks, 1 minute, on your marks, get set, let's go. Remember as we go through these warm-ups, guys, very important to keep breathing. You don't want to hold your breath as you stretch. You don't want to hold your breath as you do push-ups, squats, anything. Keep breathing. Keep reminding yourself too. Because it can be easy to kind of confuse the thought of keeping your body tense and not breathing, of thinking they're like the same thing, or if you're tensing up, you can't breathe. You got to keep that breath going, otherwise those warm-ups become incredibly challenging. We're already over halfway, guys. That's 35 seconds into our sparring jumping jacks here. Hopefully you're feeling it in the calves a little bit, especially if you're not letting your heels touch the ground. It's just the balls of the feet. These ones definitely help with that. Building those calf muscles helps us out a lot with sparring. Right, because the goal in sparring is to never let your heels touch the ground. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, there we go. Let's get our first one here as one of the student choices, ice skaters. Warm-up we haven't done in a really long time. It looks like I got some bumper push-ups too, awesome. So for ice skaters, if I start right here, there's a couple variations we can do. I can take one leg behind me and bring my hand across, and same thing other side. Right leg behind, right hand across. Right here. You want to go a little more, you bring it down a little bit lower. Final option would be you've got a little bit of a jump. One side, then the other. Going back through ice skaters. 40 seconds. I wish I could show you guys my clock. It's going incredibly fast and there's no... Okay, now the second hand's back. Well, okay. Well, my minute hand isn't, so... Let's go 40 seconds. Ready and go. I think the clock is trying to reset. So, I'll let you guys know when 10 minutes has passed. All right, 10 minutes has passed on my clock here as we go through. I believe we're about 15 seconds in here. I might think daylight savings time. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Or maybe it's just going through, and I'm going to do my best to get us at the right time here. But ice skater's still going. We're at about 30 seconds right now. 10 more seconds. we'll jump into our next warm-up. Quite literally. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right. Next up, we've got some squats. We're doing the alternating jump squat. So what it looks like is you're going to start with a regular squat, and then you do a jump squat afterwards. Jump, regular squat. Jump squat, regular squat. Going back and forth between the two. Going 45 seconds here. Ready? And begin. As we go through, I'm not giving you guys anything less than my best. Right? I want us to be out of breath as we do these, but we're working hard. Even if no one's there working with you, even if no one's doing these warm-ups, right? You think to yourself, hey, I can stop 5 seconds early. Don't let yourself. Hey, Sahel, good to have you back. Awesome private lesson earlier today. Whew. You and Annika both, you guys' kicks were awesome. We got about 15 seconds left. You're just joining, we've got the alternating jump squats. Regular squat, and a jump squat afterwards. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, I gotta show you guys this. I'm still going through. It's messing me up. I don't know if you can see the second hand going here, but I get caught up on that of I'm not sure what time it is every time we start a warm-up. All right, so let's get those kayaks next. For kayaks, we're on our back here. We're gonna balance ourselves. You got your shoulders off the ground and feet too. You can see this here, right? I'm gonna take my hand, reach to one side, and then to the other. One side and the other. If you'd like a little extra resistance on this one, for teens, adults, you can get a little bit of a weight, even if it's something like a water bottle here. You got a little extra weight to carry, one side to the other. All right, we're going 40 seconds. Ready, set, and go. I know that's still in frame, I'll get that in a second, don't worry. I want to get these warm-ups though. Woo. My clock is still going really fast. I'm not sure what's going on with the minute hand there. Keep it going, guys. We're 15 seconds in. Remember, going for a total of 40 seconds. Push yourself. Don't settle for less than your best. Keep your body moving. If it feels too easy, speed it up a little bit, right? Ooh, we got under 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. Whew. Good kayaks there. We got some bumper push-ups. Another request for today. If you haven't done bumper push-ups before, you're basically going back and forth between a plank and a push-up position, or a low plank and a high plank. You can start off high plank, down to the forearms, back up to the hands here. I'm going to go over my knuckles. I'm sure if you guys have watched any class recently, you've heard me mention my issue with my wrist, but I'm going to keep staying safe with it. So, we got those bumper push-ups. 40 seconds. Ready, set, and go. Still not sure. My clock is still going wild. I assume we're within our first 15 minutes of class here still. I'll check in a second once we get through most of our warm-ups. Again, going 40 seconds. Looks like we're about 20 seconds in here. Make sure you're picking your hands up. Especially if you got your hands on the ground, that it's not just kind of this where the hands stay down. Pick them up, set them down. Pick it up, set it down. And break. Nice work, guys. Some good bumper push-ups there. We have another warm-up was the head, shoulder, knees, and toes push-ups. If anybody else has a request for a warm-up, then write it down. We can get to it. But head, shoulders, knees, and toes push-ups. These ones, you start in that push-up position. You're going to take one hand and you're going to reach across your body to touch your temple. Same thing other side, touch your head. Then you go shoulders. Then you would go down, touch your knees. You can bring your knees up like that. And finally, toes, quick push-up, and you start the process over, all right? Now, as you go through these, try and keep your body tight. Try and keep it in one spot, I should say. Try not to let it wobble side to side. Engage the core, and you can get a good core workout too, okay? Ready? 30 seconds. This one will be a little bit quicker. And go. Head, shoulders, knees, toes, push up. And go through it again. Again, keep breathing as we do these. You never want to hold your breath through warm-ups. I'm going to keep that one there. 5 more seconds. And break. Awesome work, guys. Some good warm-ups there. What time are we at? Are we at 6:10? About then? Yeah, we are. Awesome. My clock actually has fixed itself. It's back to its regular time tracking now. Let's get a little bit of stretching going here. We're going to do some leg swings. We'll want a little bit more of this dynamic stretch where we've got some movement behind it. We'll get some static stretching, like splits, butterfly stretch from one spot a little later in class, okay? So, if you can, if you've got enough space, front leg swings. You're going to take one leg, swing it up in front of you. Notice there's no chamber in this. This isn't to kick for power. This is to help stretch hamstring specifically back here. All right? We're going to go 10 with each leg. And begin. 1. Try and keep those hands up. It's a good practice to do right now. 4, 5. I'm going to switch to the other leg. Get 5 on this side, and then I'm going to do 5, the last 5 on that first side, okay? 3, 4. Try and keep your posture. 2, 5. Finish up this side here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. Other side, I still need to wrap those ones up. 6. Doing my best. 2, 7. Keep this foot flat on the ground. 8. Raising up on the ball of the foot like this. Doesn't help me too much with my stretch. 9, 10. Yes, it will make my leg go up a little bit higher. I find it harder to actually get any kind of stretch with that though. Outward crescent swings. For outward crescent swings, same ready stance. Instead of bringing the leg straight up in front of you, you're going to bring the leg across the body. So this one here is going to come across. It's going to swing over the top and come back. And so if I was here, example of that, big swing out. I like to take a little small step, a little jab step right here to the outside, open up hips a little more. 10 with each leg. I'm going to do 5 with each leg, and I'm going to get started on our message of the week, okay? So, 10 with each leg. Go for it. 1, 2. You guys might be chatting with me still, and I can't see anything going on here. I'll reload something there. I'm going to keep going my stretches here. Hadn't seen anything in a while. If there was a request for a warm-up that I missed, I apologize about that. Just told me I was reconnecting with the chat. Keep those legs straight as you go through these still, all right, everybody? Excellent. It's not reloading here. I hope everything is still okay on your guys' end. Give me 1 second. It looks like it disconnected me. For some reason, it needs a password for... Anyways, I'm trying to get it to go here. Let's get started on our message of the week, guys. The message of the week is the thumb story. So the thumb story is from this real old kingdom of this ruler who loved to go hunting. And it looks like it's loading back up here again. Hopefully you guys can still hear me and everything. This is probably because I mentioned earlier we hadn't had a hiccup in the stream in a long time, so it looks okay to you. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. Thanks, Hella. So this ruler really loved to go hunting, right? Favorite thing to do. Their assistants were the ones who set everything up because this ruler couldn't be bothered to do all that work, right? So assistants did all the research. They went, got everything ready, and then when it was time, they would go out on this mission, right? And so they go out on this trip, and as they're hunting, one of the king's favorite assistants, their best friend for a long, long time, pulls the bow back as they see something move and shoots real quick. And as they do that, they realize that it actually wasn't the animal, but instead was the ruler. And it shot an arrow right through their thumb. And so this ruler's thumb comes clean off. And understandably, they're really upset about this, right? And so they get back to the kingdom. They throw this assistant in the dungeon. They say, you're never going to see the light of day again. You will spend the rest of your life in here for what you did to me. And as they do that, they decide, well, you know what? I got to get a new assistant, right? Because this ruler still wants to go hunting, but they don't want to do any of the work, right? So they get another assistant. some time goes by, they get ready for this next mission, and Citizen's like, oh, you know what, let's go to this different place here. So they get themselves set up, they go to this new island they hadn't been to before, and as they jump into this mission, they encounter a group of cannibals on this island. Now, if you don't know, cannibals, people who eat other people, but this tribe was superstitious, they wouldn't eat people they didn't deem whole. And since this ruler was missing a thumb, they said, oh, you know what, the ruler can go. And so this ruler goes back to their kingdom, they go to that dungeon, they pull someone out, and they say, hey, I am so sorry I did this, right? Can you ever forgive me? And the assistant looks and says, yeah, of course. That was the best thing that could have happened to me. If you hadn't thrown me in this dungeon, I would have been on that trip with you, and I would not have made it off the island. I would have still been there. Poor ending, right? Now, from this story, one, it's very weird. It's a wild story. But look for the positives, right? That assistant was able to look past all this time that they spent in this dungeon and able to find a positive from it, right? And this ruler was able to say, hey, you know what? I had gone on this hunting trip, you shot my thumb off, but hey, I found a positive from it. And after all this happening, everything's A-okay, right? You're all good. The thumb up there, right? So the thumb story, look for the positives, look for the bright side and everything. If you look for positives, you will be able to find them, even if it's tough. But if all you look for is negatives, and that's the first thing your mind jumps to, you're always going to find it. It makes it even more challenging to look for those positives. So, let me double check one more time. We all still all good here? Yeah, it looks like it. Cool, cool. All right, guys, we got some kicking sets to do here. I actually want us to start. Let me jump this here. I can see everything. Okay, cool. I actually want us to all start together with a turn back kick. Because for everyone working on kicking set number 1, that should be my beginning and level 1 kids. The third kick in our kicking set is a turn back kick. For level 2s, or for beginner, intermediate, teen adults, we have a kick, the spin hook kick, that is an optional one, of course, for us, but benefits a lot from knowing a turn back kick, because it starts kind of the same. And then for level 3s, or my green belts and up, and level 4s, black belts, for kicking set number 3, there's a jump turn back kick in the original version. We've been doing a turn back kick instead. So just a great thing to have in there. All right, so let's get started. Turn back kick first. Let's assume that this wall right here behind me, beige, whatever color you want to call this, is our target. I'm going to stand, and I believe you guys can kind of see this here, that there's the gap or the line in the mat there, right? You should be able to see, yeah, it's going like right here, right? So with that line, I'm going to put my feet on that line. And I'm going to kick in the same direction. So there's a straight line, and I'm going to kick right towards it, and it looks kind of like that light switch there is right in that target. It's a little off, but close enough that I can use that. So I'm going to go to my ready stance here. I'm going to turn my back to my target. So since the target is this wall, I'm going to turn my back on it, and I'm going to keep looking the same direction I was rotating. So I'm going to keep looking this way until I see my target again. Finally, this leg, it's closest to you guys, but it's furthest from the target. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to keep my legs close, and I'm going to slice back and kick back with this left leg. And I'm just going to set it down in front here. That's the turn back kick. So again, I start here in this left side stance. And in fact, I believe that in the way we've been doing the kicking sets, we all would be using the left leg for it. So it kind of helps us to practice all together here too. Feet in a straight line. I've got my target. I'm going to turn around and spot it. I see my target. Leg's going to shoot straight back. And I get to my ready stance at the end. Last thing I'll mention here, having a target helps out tremendously. If you can pick one little thing to aim for every time you do your kick, it really helps keep your balance, and it really helps make sure that your kick stays sharp. If you guys are my target, right, I'm going to keep my eyes on it the whole time. As I turn and spot, I want to see you guys again, and I'm not going to let my eyes leave throughout my whole kick there. In fact, I'm going to do that one more time, because in the turn back kick, I want my toes pointing down. I think I over-rotated a little bit. There we go. Boom. Toes are staying down a little bit more on that one. So, turn back kick. For level 2s and 3s, if you guys want to keep practicing that, please do. Or everyone working kicking set 2, kicking set 3. If you would like to kind of review the kicks you already know, you can do that as well. But I'm going to start with kicking set number 1. So, beginners level 1 kids. Ready? We're going to start in our right side ready stance. So everybody knows a right side stance means the right foot is back. If I were to do a left side ready stance, my left leg would be back, all right? So, right foot's back. I'm again going to be kicking towards the wall here. I'm going to take this back leg, chamber up, extend out, and the big thing to remember is I want to set my foot down in front, all right? So again, if I'm on this side, kick, set it down in front here. As soon as I wrap that up, I've got a side kick with the exact same leg. So if I just kick with my right leg's gonna kick again. Bringing my left foot in close. You guys can see here, I'm trying to make like the shape of a T here. Bottom foot is the stem of the T, the top of the T is this right leg here. From there, I can just do my side kick, toes pointing to the side. Set it down in front. Again, one more time. Front kick, set it down in front, side kick, again, set it down in front. You guys are gonna see that happening a lot. It happens through every kick of every kicking set. So that's kicking set, the first two in kicking set 1. Once you guys start working on that. Everyone working on kicking set number 2. The first 2 kicks for us are a hook kick and a roundhouse kick. And if you got a chance to watch the video earlier this week, we started working the hook kick from a seated position, basically, right? So if I was kicking towards you guys, I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna go to one hip. This leg that's up top here is the one that's gonna kick. Now, I'm gonna do a side kick, but instead of going right towards you, I'm gonna have it off to the side a little bit. Then, I'm gonna use the back of my foot would be my target to go right past you. And then I bring it back in. Notice that it doesn't kick out to the side and swing all the way through. Kicking right here, just to the side of you, and then to the other side. Kick, across, back in. The second kick is a roundhouse. So I kick, hook, rechamber, make sure my knee is pointed straight at you, point my toes, extend, and pull it back. And once you can do that, right, if you feel comfortable on the ground, then start standing up. I'm going to use this wall right here. It's just a way to balance a little easier. If you got a chair you want to put your hand on, right, I can use a Weightmaster here. All great options. Side kick that misses, drag it across, roundhouse, set it down. Makes sense, right? Again. And final thing, I forgot to mention, this foot back here, I'm going to point the toes away, just like I would in a side kick. Right? Point them away from you guys. Kick, across, roundhouse. One more thing here, what does that look like if I was kicking the same direction as you guys? If you're kicking towards the screen. Okay, we're going here. I'm going to kick, a little bit of a hook, and then roundhouse kick comes in right afterwards. Hook, round. There we go. So, as you do this, keep great posture. One more time. Ready? Hook kick. And then roundhouse kick afterwards. Awesome. Kicking set 2. Go ahead and get started on that. Everyone for kicking set number 3. We start off with a Kempo kick and we follow it up with a roundhouse kick afterwards. Now, the Kempo kick is kind of like a roundhouse kick, but instead of like my roundhouse kick coming from over here, I'm going to flip it underneath and kick from the other side. So it'll make more sense when I give a demonstration here. My roundhouse kick comes in from over here. The Kempo kick, imagine I kind of leave my knee in the same spot. I'm going to rotate so my foot's on the other side and like extend out. So it's still coming from one side. The top of my foot is going to end up kicking towards, not towards you, but it's kicking you from the side here. Hopefully that makes sense. So Kempo kick comes first. Bring that leg up, in, kind of like I'm getting ready to sit crisscross. Kick out. And now here's the biggest thing that I want to mention, I want you guys to really focus on, is this plant leg, I need to pivot all the way around 180 degrees until it's pointing away. If you're my target, I need it to point away from you. And then I do my roundhouse kick, all right? What does that look like if it's facing the same direction? Here we go. It'll be a little bit harder for you guys to see. I'm actually going to come over here. I think that Kempo will be a little easier. Kempo. Notice how, again, I'm not sure if you can see the angle too well, but I'm trying to tuck this foot in as opposed to just kicking out in front. Coming from the side, then around, and again setting it down in front. All right? One more time. Kempo comes in from one side, flip around, roundhouse, set it down in front. Those are the first 2 kicks in kicking set 3. Are there any questions from anybody about those first 2 kicks in any of the kicking sets before I move on to the 3rd, 4th kicks of them? Please let me know, all right? Got any extra questions there about those kicks so far? I'm going to start jumping into the beginner in level 1, king set number 1. As soon as we finish that side kick, we're going to do the turn back kick, which we had just done, right? We all practiced that together. So after my right leg side kick here, I'm going to turn my back on the wall, and I'm going to use my left leg here to kick behind me. Set it down in front, right? And I'm going to jump right past that into our 4th kick for kicking set 1 because, for everyone working on kicking set 2, our next kick is the same as the fourth kick in this kicking set. It's a roundhouse kick with the back leg. So, kicking set 1 group, real quick. We just did 3 kicks. Front, side, turn, back. We should have done this. Front, side, turn, back kick. We end up here in this right side stance. For everyone in working kicking set number 2, we should have done our hook kick and then our roundhouse kick. Here, hook, round, and what do you know? We end up in a right side ready stance here. Excellent. We're ready for the next kick. For both of us, it's this back leg roundhouse kick. I think it's going to be best seen from this angle here. So I'm actually going to go a little bit of an angle so you guys can see a little bit more of this. My first step is actually going to bring my leg up like a front kick chamber. There we go. Chamber up in front. My toes are pointing the direction I want to kick. Once I've done this, I'm actually going to take my pivot or my plant leg here, and I'm going to pivot it 180 degrees around. Up, pivot. And if you guys notice there, as I do that, it kind of forces my leg into that roundhouse kick chamber. All right? Watch from an angle right towards you here. I'm going to go to my front kick chamber. Now, keeping my knee pointed to you because you're my target, I'm going to take these toes down here and turn them all the way around. It forces me into that roundhouse kick chamber, which I can then extend and set down. All right? So, for again, the kicking set 1 and kicking set 2, that next kick that we're doing is that rear leg roundhouse. Bring it up, pivot, roundhouse, set it down in front. Awesome. Kicking set 2, one more time. What is that going to look like for you guys? Hook kick, roundhouse kick, and then rear leg roundhouse kick. Hook round, round, set it down in front. Awesome. I'm going to jump into kicking set 3 group next here. If there's any questions on 1 or 2, please let me know, okay? If you're feeling great, could let me know that too. Kicking set 3. Our next kick is the turn back kick. Yeah, right? We just did Kempo round. We're going to follow it up with a turn back kick next. So, let's see. I'm going to go this way here. We got Kempo, round. If my target is towards that corner, I'm going to turn my back on it. And again, keeping those legs close. Slide back and kick, and set it down in front there. Now, here's where the crescent kicks from earlier come in handy. The axe kick follows a similar motion. Just instead of a big swing around, it comes up, extends, and comes straight down. So, watch for a second here. I'm going to kick towards you. Where a outward crescent swing does this big motion. Ready? My axe kick is going to go the same direction, just making that movement a little smaller. And halfway through, I drop straight down. I don't think I can do it much slower than that, but I'll try. There's a little bit of sideways motion. Not a big swing, just a little one. It comes up, and then it whips straight down. All right? So what does that look like when we add it into our kicking set? Well, we've got Kempo round first. Kempo round. Set it down in front. Turn, back kick, here, and ooh, my back is pointing towards you guys. We'll still go ahead with this, and then I'm going to do it the other angle. Back leg comes up, it's the right leg for us, up to our left, bring it up high, and set it straight down. Excellent. So I'm going to do it from another angle here. I think it'll end up being a little bit better for you guys to see. Kempo, round, turn, back kick. And now from here, right leg comes up to my left, and whip straight down. There we go. That wraps up kicking set number 3, at least the one we're doing, the version that we're doing. You guys let me know. Any questions on those kicking sets? Let me know if it's feeling pretty good for you too. I don't see anything, so I'm hoping that my chat's still connecting. You guys are just working really hard. I don't see anything right now. If anyone can let me know, feeling good about everything, then be good for me just to, I want to make sure I can actually see what you guys are writing. If anyone's writing anything and I haven't seen anything, then I may have been disconnected again. Am I all good? Let me reload the page real quick. I haven't seen anything in a while. I just want to make sure that you guys can still hear me and you guys can still see me. I know there's a little hiccup earlier. All right, so let me get some examples here as that all reloads. All right, kicking set number 1, front kick, set it down in front. Side kick, Set down in front. Turn back kick. Again, sending it down in front, and then finally back leg coming around. Roundhouse kick. And as you guys do, you're fine. Okay, thank you so much, Alicia. As you guys do that roundhouse kick and you start to speed it up, you're still going to follow those steps. Every time I do a roundhouse kick, I bring my leg up and I pivot it around. Up and pivot. Right, that's going to get me a little bit more whip into my kick. There are versions where you kind of bring it around a little bit more, but if you notice, I'm still focusing on pivoting that foot around, boom, as I hit. I love this condensed version, though. When you bring it up, pivot, and the kick just kind of naturally follows. So we just went through kicking set 1, kicking set 2. Hook round, and then rear leg round. Hook, round, rear leg, round. One more kicking set 3, and then I want to talk about the spin hook kick for kicking set 2. Kicking set 3, we had that Kempo, round, set it down, turn, back kick, then finally back leg, axe kick, set it down in front, get back out to that ready stance. For everyone in kicking set 1 and 3, as you guys do your turn back kicks, I want you to focus on keeping legs close and toes pointed down. It's really, really easy to just kind of spin through it or kind of speed it up to the point where it's becoming a side kick. So I'm going to spot you guys, keep my legs close, try my best to keep my toes pointed down. All right? So, spin hook kick. Oh, one of my favorite kicks, actually. This is an optional one in kicking set 2, but I want to go over it here real quick, okay? So, it starts kind of like a turn back kick. I'm going to get to my ready stance, left leg's behind me. I'm going to turn spot, look to my target. And now, here's where the change happens. Instead of kicking straight back, I'm going to do a regular hook kick. And a reminder that we want our kick to go in like this small little window of opportunity. So instead of a big kick that swings through everything, I'm going to imagine maybe my target's right here in the middle of the wall. I'm going to imagine kicking out to this one, to this side, bring it across, and then I pull it back in. Hopefully that makes sense. If I had like little pieces of tip tape I could put on the wall, that'd be a good idea. But right as I kick here, watch this. I'm going to turn and spot. I'm going to kick out at an angle here. Bring it to the other one. Then I can pull it back, and I'm trying to spin all the way back around. I don't have any advice on terms of balancing this other than, hey, start low with your kick. So if I'm kicking again, I'm going to turn and spot. A little small kick there. If I'm kicking towards you guys. Right here, I'm going to turn and look. Small little motion and back. And that can help me kind of get through the motion without having to worry about this really high kick. Ooh, that is a great question, Suma Sarah. Where is the axe kick supposed to hit? It depends on if you were throwing this as a traditional axe kick or if you're throwing it as a sparring axe kick. If you're throwing it traditionally, the axe kick would, I'm going to answer 2 questions here, what part of the foot and where you're hitting on the other person. You would hit with the heel of the foot, nice solid target or solid surface, and you would oftentimes hit to the collarbones or you'd hit to the head. For sparring, the ball of the foot would hit to the temple. If you're going to throw it in sparring, you better make sure you got control over it, right? You don't want to hurt your partner. But great question, yeah. Heel of the foot for a traditional one, either to the temple or the head. In sparring, the ball of the foot, so it's softer, hits to the temple. Let's jump back to that spin hook kick real quick. If I'm facing you guys, I think you'll be able to see the angles a little more. Watch how I'm not going to swing throughout the whole kick. That's actually really challenging to do. I'm going to kick over here. It's going to come here. And it's going to pull back. All right? I turn spot. It's only extended for a short amount of time there. Actually, we were talking about it earlier. Suhela, the private lesson, that when I started to learn it, I just tried to swing my legs. So I thought, man, spin, hook. Well, a hook kick looks like this, and I got to spin through the whole thing. And I felt like I had to just kind of like do that, right? But it takes forever. And when you watch it for the first time, it kind of feels like they do that. But in reality, as I go a little faster with this, it came out and it pulled back in pretty quick. That way. All right, one more. Turn spot. And you'll notice, my last thing, and we're going to jump into some sparring stuff. Both, and this is for everybody. For the turn back kick or for the X kick, spot your targets. Spot, spot, spot. If I'm right here, instead of watching all the way around, I'm going to get dizzy real fast. Keep your eyes on the target. turn, look quick. My eyes got back to you guys. And as I go through the rest of the kick, I'm keeping my eyes there. That'll help you out a lot with not getting too dizzy. So, if there are no more questions on those kicks, I'm going to jump into some quick sparring stuff after this. And then we'll wrap some stuff up. So let me know if you got any quick questions there about any of the kicking sets. Kicking set 1, 2, or 3. A reminder that the spin hook kick is optional for tip testing. I think it's a really fun one. But if you don't want to do it, you do not have to. And then kicking set 3, I think unfortunately, the first week I accidentally taught it without the turn back kick. So if you wanted to, you could go Kempo round axe kick. But I think the turn back kick makes it feel a little more true to the actual kicking set. So, looks like now. So let's jump into some sparring stuff here, guys. I'm going to grab my gloves. Just because, oh man, I love wearing them. Looking forward to the day when we can spar again too. That'll be a blast. So, with the techniques we've been working on, we've been working on lead hand techniques, basically. Lead hand attacks would be the better way to phrase that. So I'm in my sparring stance. Remember, we want to spar here with one hand out in front of us. We're beginning at level 1 kids. All we had worked on was our lead hand back knuckle. So if I'm here and I'm sparring you guys, I'm going to keep this arm out in front, right? And as I step forward, as I slide forward, I'm going to extend the arm out, and I want as little swing as possible. I want to extend it out and let the back of my hand hit to the temple. So again, sparring stance, arms are here. We slide forward, back knuckle, and slide back out, all right? Let's go ahead and get started on that if you're beginners level 1s watching right now. For level 2s and up, as well as the teen and adults, we've been working on a technique that works when your back knuckle works. So if I'm here and I've back knuckled a lot, then my partner's going to tend to have their arms up a little bit higher. And when I see that those ribs are wide open, I'm going to slide in, I'm going to sink down, and I'm going to punch down to the body. Now, as I do this, what I've found helps me is bringing this other hand across just to make sure that my temple is guarded, all right? So here I'm back, slide in and hit, and then slide back out, all right? Let's go just quick 30 seconds practicing just those techniques, that slide punch or that slide back. 30 seconds, let's go for it. I'm just getting that quick slide. Make sure that if you do that back knuckle, you're doing that punch, you got that quick cover, right? Making sure the head is nice and guarded. The back knuckle, you don't really have to do it because your arm's already kind of up there. Sometimes, if you want to, you can bring this hand to guard the ribs if you're not planning on following up with a punch. And break. All right. Now let's add another hand technique in here, okay? For the back knuckle, usually we follow it up with a punch, just because, man, if I've got a fast back knuckle, people are going to be ready for that. They're going to start bringing those hands up, and I'm going to follow up with this punch to the body. If I'm doing that, so I'm going to the side here. There's my back knuckle. My hips have not turned. For my punch, hand back to my head, turn the hips, throw the punch straight forward, and back. This towards you guys. Back knuckle, turn the hips, punch straight forward, and bring it back. I'm going to do my best to not let it swing. Any extra lateral motion here is wasted time. Right? If I punch, I'd better get that back quick to block, because especially if I hit somebody in a continuous round where there's no stoppage for points, if I hit somebody, they're going to want to hit me back, right? So I got to make sure that as soon as I get that punch straight out there, that I'm pulling it back and sliding away, all right? So back knuckle workers, my beginners level 1, start working on that. For everyone else, what I found works really well after this one, notice I sink down a little bit, is the same hand's going to come over the top for a ridge hand. If you haven't done ridge hands before, let me take these off real quick. Here's how we're going to kind of arrange our hand. I'm going to take my fingers. I can either curl them in if I want to like this, or I can keep them straight. But I'm going to bring this thumb and tuck it underneath. What that should do, especially if I come to the side here, is you guys see that there's a flat surface here? I want to hit with this triangle. It goes from that first joint in my thumb to my wrist, and then up to the first knuckle in my pointer finger there. You can also tuck them in here. But I'm making sure that, and it's an odd one, right? You can see that there's my thumb's just kind of sticking down. Because, let me get to a good angle here, we can see it. I can't get a good angle. If I bring my thumb up to the side, then I no longer have that triangle that I was talking about, right? It's just flat surface now. Now I've got it. And you can feel that as you do it. You've got a triangle here, a surface to hit with. If I bring my thumb up, I've lost it. So that ridge hand comes in really handy after the punch. So let's add that in now. We're either working that back knuckle and then punch, or punch to the body and ridge hand comes up over the top, all right? It's just they're not going to expect a technique coming from that side. Here we go. 30 seconds, practicing just that offensive technique, getting as much repetition as you can. Ready? And go. I'm going to kind of practicing both of them here as I go through. That way everyone gets a chance to see. Back knuckle, punch. A reminder here that anytime you're in a sparring stance, you want half of your weight on each foot, right? So I'm making sure that it's not a back and forth, but instead 50-50. Even when I slide, I want to get back to that 50-50 as quickly as I can. It allows me the opportunity to slide anywhere. If I come in here and I've got my weight evenly distributed, 50-50, I can slide forward again and again, and then bam, I get you guys, right? If I don't, if I get all my weight forward, well, it's really hard for me to move forward again, right? All I can really do is move back. Last one, best one. And break. Whew. Nice work there, guys. Hopefully we're sliding, moving around a lot there. The more you practice that, guys, one of the best things you can do really to help with sparring, of course, conditioning and getting those the calves used to it, is just practice this sparring stance. Stay light on the balls of the feet. Slide up. Maybe not do this with me here. Practice that slide back and get back to 50-50. If I rotate a little bit, I'm going to get back 50-50. Right, I'll have to shift my weight to move at all, but I'm always trying to get back to that 50-50. There we go. Let's break right there. There was one more thing I wanted to mention, because there's a question that just happened in classes earlier this week that I thought was a really great question, actually. Was thinking past just the initial technique and thinking, how is this going to affect me in actual sparring, right? And so it's about that lead hand punch, sliding forward and hitting right here. And someone asked, hey, isn't the other side of my head open? And yeah, right? Anytime we spar, we're going to have to deal with the fact that we're going to have a target that is open. If I try and back knuckle you, my ribs are open. And some people say, oh, well, you can obviously just bring this hand across. I'm like, yeah, well, now these ribs are open a little bit, even if they're farther away. And I have nothing guarding my head. I have to rely on this hand to do both sides. If I'm doing this punch, yeah, head's open. Ribs are kind of open here, but since my hand's lower and I probably sunk my stance a little bit, I think I can guard that a little bit better. And one, I need to just be aware of what's going to be open and kind of think about, hey, they might attack that target area next. And two, practice the techniques enough that I don't show my opponent, or I don't show my partner what's happening. There's nothing better than seeing someone, when you're sparring them, start to wind up this back knuckle, because you know those ribs are going to be open. There's been a lot of times where I've started my punch before I brought my hand up, and I was able to learn the technique before they got in because I saw this coming in. So practice it a lot. Get those back knuckles in a straight line. When you punch, make sure you go straight forward and then straight back, right? That there's no swing to it. If I start to swing a lot, then, hey, my partner's got a great chance to hit me. So practice them. Create the muscle memory that you've got linear attacks that come right back to their spot as quickly as they're done. So just wanted to address that question. It was just a really great question. So that is it for today, guys. Real quick announcements before we go. It is tip testing week through Sunday. We can always do makeups next week if you need to. We've got the option to both submit the videos on Discord, or if you guys want to do a private lesson through Discord. We had 2 earlier today. They both rocked it, both got tips. We can do that as well. The sign-ups for that you should be able to find on Discord. Left-hand side of the sidebar, way up at the top, private lesson information's got a link to it. I think I put it in the announcements recently too. So that's it, guys. If you got any questions, let me know. I hope you guys have a great evening. For everyone who's still training at home, hasn't made a day, and I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for continuing to train safe. Everyone who is training in person, it's been fun seeing you guys. Thank you for continuing to train safe as well. And let's have a great night, guys. Let's go to attention. And let's bow out. Class dismissed. Nice work, guys. Give yourself a quick round of applause. Thanks, Sue and Sarah, for joining. Getting 2 classes in a day is always pretty fun. I'll see you next time you're at the school. Thanks, Suhela. Thanks, Annika. It's good to see you guys, even after private lessons today, jumping into another class. Make sure you guys stay hydrated. We used to end every class like this, and now I'm realizing it's probably not so as fun. But get the sweat off with your belt. That's definitely the original way you got to black belt, just so you guys know. You take your white belt off, wipe the sweat with it, and then eventually it would get enough dirt and sweat that it would get darker and darker and darker until it's a black belt. It's totally how it happened. Well, for anyone who's still here too, I forgot to mention, if you've been training online, if you're interested in training in person, we've got a nice outside dojo set up. Just send us an email or send Sifu Dan a message on Discord and help get you started, all right? But we'll take off on the night. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys next Thursday, same time, same place. And I'll get that link in as soon as I can, as soon as it's up for next Thursday, 6 o'clock. See you guys then. Bye, guys.